What is good, Potty Mouse? We are back with another episode. It is your host, Darius. And today we got a special guest in the building with us. You guys may have seen her on one of the best TV shows, in my opinion, out across the nation, in the world. You see her on that show, Snowfall. Give it up for Taylor Polidore. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming through. I'm telling you, this is by far the biggest star we've had on the show. So I appreciate you for pulling up on us. This is a great chance for us to get to know you and ask you some questions. So again, we really appreciate it. How are you doing today?
I'm great. My day is just getting started. I
Mhm.
worked out and now I'm here with you guys. So the
Yeah,
day is really good.
that's even better. See, you're already better than me. I haven't worked out in I don't know how long. So
Ah, you can start today.
you know what? I think I just might. I'm a little motivated now that we got this interview going. I think I might have to hit the gym. I'm telling you. But we went ahead and we've been advertising it a little bit, telling some of our listeners that we were gonna have you on the show or a special guest on the show. And they ended up finding out because I can't hold shit. Like, I put it on my
Ah.
Snapchat. I'm like put in little episodes of Snowfall, little clips. I'm like, it's somebody in the screen and it's all you and Black
Yeah,
Diamond. So I'm like, people figured it out, so
you can't hold water.
I can't. I was very excited. Like I said, Snowfall is legitimately like I'm a big TV show movie junkie. I watch all of it, and Snowfall is by far one of my favorite TV shows of like all of them. I love everything
Mine
about
too.
Snowfall. Oh yes, and you know what? And I got some questions for you. Let me tell you. But we did want to go ahead and dive into it. So we do know you're from Katy, Texas. We're based out of Texas as well. I'm from the
I didn't
DFW.
know that.
Yes, I'm actually out here in Austin, Texas. That's where we're based out of. Yes.
Oh,
I know.
yes.
Yes, I know. Hey, I'm telling you, Texas, Texas, Texas. What's it?
Texas.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I got some but one of our buddies Q is actually from the Houston area, Houston Lufkin area. So
Yeah.
we got people all over. We sometimes we call ourselves I-20 because it's the highway that connects all of us because we're
Mm-hmm.
all from different parts of Texas. But what's it like, going from Katy, Texas, right? And now you're making it big in Hollywood. You're getting the spin-off TV shows. You landed one of the best TV shows. And like I said, in my opinion, like out. So what's it like having to go through and, adjust to, the Hollywood lifestyle coming from Katy and whatnot?
It's definitely a big difference. Katie, Katie versus Hollywood, of course. But I think that I grew up in Katy, but all my family is from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And I started acting in Houston and like I started doing theater there and like my agent was there and I would do auditions and stuff. So it wasn't that I wasn't used to the city. Like it wasn't as big of a shock from like the country suburbs
Uh-huh.
to this big city. And then after I graduated high school, I went to college in Atlanta. I went to Clark Atlanta University. Shout out to
Oh, okay.
CAU.
Oh yeah.
So Atlanta, I feel like was like a great precursor to Los
Mm-hmm.
Angeles
Right.
because
Yes.
Atlanta, everybody thinks they're a star. Like Atlanta has a different feel, but it's still Southern, so it was a
Mm-hmm.
nice midpoint. So by the time I got to Hollywood, I definitely already knew myself and
Mm-hmm.
I was an adult at that time. I wasn't like 18, didn't know anything
Mm-hmm.
coming from Katy going to LA.
Right.
So it's definitely a big difference, but it wasn't a hard transition.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because I have a lot of friends out there too that are from LA
Which
or
is
went to
awesome.
school with me. Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it wasn't too big of an adjustment. I've been acting since I was a kid, so that
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
that hard.
Yeah, and like I said, that it's great to see, a lot of these Texans, they're going out there and they're making it big in Hollywood, making it big in the NBA, NFL. I just love to see it. I'm a big homegrown guy. I like to see some of our own
Yeah.
folks actually go out there and make it big.
There's
And
no pride like Texas pride.
yes, I'm telling
You
you,
know, it's a
I'm telling
different a
you.
different thing.
Exactly. And that's why I say, it puts a smile on my face just knowing all about that. And making it into the Hollywood, it's obviously it's no small thing. Like, you got to be bred for it. You got to be ready to do it, and you got to be on go all the time. So when did you know, like, obviously you're trying to get on the scene and you landed Snowfall,
Mhm.
When did you know that Snowfall was going to end up becoming as big as it's becoming? Like, I know you see it on the socials. Everybody just absolutely loves it. When did you know that you actually hit something with Snowfall?
So I've been a fan of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Snowfall. So I came in the fourth season,
Mm-hmm.
2020, the middle of the height of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
When I
Yeah.
got the audition, honestly, I wasn't auditioning a lot because the industry kind of shut down, like
Mm-hmm.
everything else in the world.
Right.
I got the audition like October 2020, so things had just
Oh,
kind of
wow.
started
Mm-hmm.
to get back. Kind of like it was very weird. And I had actually auditioned for the show before years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get the role. And I'm actually
Oh,
glad that I
wow.
didn't, because it was I don't even know what the role was. Like
Oh,
it
okay. I was about
was
to ask.
yeah, I don't even remember what it was. It was
Mhm.
something a bit smaller, and it was just like one episode, and I
Oh,
actually didn't
okay.
get it. So when I got this one and I found out, just like any other audition, they'll send what the character kind of is doing in the season and how many episodes, and
Mm-hmm.
give you a little synopsis. And they were like, this character is going to do big things. And
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, okay, like I don't know what it is from what I'm reading, because the
Mm-hmm.
audition was pretty quick. So I was just grateful to have the opportunity to audition again, and that
Mm-hmm.
it was a character that they had plans for. And like I went all out. I had, like I said, at the height of the pandemic, I hadn't been auditioning. So like I went crazy. Like I was in Texas actually. I was
Oh,
at my
wow.
parents' house. And I had like my aunt do some like finger waves in my hair because they said that the character had finger waves, and like,
Oh, wow.
just like I'm just gonna have fun with it because I haven't had the opportunity to do what I love. And
Definitely.
so I ended up getting the job, and I was just excited and grateful to be there on a show that I respect so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it wasn't until I guess the show came out that I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, this show has like crazy fans. Like I knew
Yeah.
people watched it, but you don't know until you're actually like paying attention to
Mm-hmm.
the hashtags, and like people have their YouTube live shows after the show. It's like,
Yeah. And
oh,
now
this
they got
has a
Twitter
fandom.
spaces. They got all types
Yeah,
of stuff.
whole
Oh,
Twitter
yeah.
spaces.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you on that. Sometimes I tune in on the Twitter spaces. I see, I think the biggest Twitter space I had seen, and it was, I think, maybe like 5 minutes after the show, there was like 6,000 people in it. I was like, in like 5 minutes, I was like, that is crazy. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they were just in there
That's
dissecting the
crazy.
episode. Like, yeah, Snowfall has its crowd, let me tell you. And they are some riders. We do. We love some Snowfall. And
Absolutely.
one thing that I'm huge on in movies, TV shows, is character development. I love
Mhm.
watching a character go from, you could say like sometimes you see characters from the very bottom make it to the top, like you have with Franklin, how he started out and
Right.
where he's at right now. But I gotta say, and this is not biased. So some of my favorite character development that I've seen in the show. Number one, I do love Leon's character development. How he's gone from just that angry
He's grown
hothead.
a lot.
He's grown a lot. Now, I will tell you, he's woke on certain situations, and not everybody's so woke to yet in that point of the show. But I love the fact that they're showing that he's grown. And another one that I love is Black Diamond in Dallas. You guys go from being like hired guns, hired hitters, to where, spoiler alert, as how the season ended, it's almost kind of like you guys are actually showing like y'all's loyalty resides with Franklin. Like y'all are riding with Franklin. Is that kind of like how you see it? Like as far as like where you guys were from the beginning versus where you guys into the season now? Because to me, it looks like, all right, Franklin's our guy. This is what we're doing.
So I'm conflicted. Like Taylor is conflicted. Now,
Right.
just disclaimer, I don't know what's happening next season.
Right.
Like, don't, this is Taylor's opinion. This has
Taylor's
nothing to
opinion.
do with the show. I have not received a script. I don't know anything. I
Right.
have talked to the wonderful showrunner, Dave Andron,
Oh, yeah.
and he said that, season 6 is going to be a wild ride. That's all that I have from
Scared.
the official Snowfall people.
I'm
So this
scared.
is just me. I'm conflicted because on one hand, I feel like okay, it's kind of establishing where their loyalty is.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I think He was the first one to call. He was the first one that said, look, I'm hiring you I need you for this. And I would not be surprised if Black Diamond in Dallas, if Louis called them too.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, Louis is the one that kept us alive.
Right.
So
Right.
I feel like if she called with a higher amount,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they would go. I don't know. So I genuinely, maybe they're loyal to him, but the only thing I think they're loyal to is really the
The
money.
money.
So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
I
We'll
know
see.
it makes me nervous because it, like I said, I am one of those people that fall a victim to see the better of the people. And I'm telling you, I'm like, I think that they're actually riding with Franklin.
Maybe.
And you know what? And I got a buddy that does not like Louis. He does not like Louis. He's like,
A
Louis
lot
out
of
here
people
plotting.
don't like Louis.
Uh-huh. And reasonably so. We get it. Okay. Like we saw how she did in the season and whatnot. But just like you said, it could be a one phone call from Louis could change the whole dynamic of how they're viewed with Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
So and one thing that was with me, I was like, okay, well, I don't know. Like she in one of the episodes, I noticed that she went with Franklin to go check out that spot with Teddy, to make sure if Teddy was watching him during that deal with Oso. And Dallas was like, this isn't what I meant when I said I wanted to get into real estate. And I was like, okay, so he's helping her out in that aspect. You can kind of tell that they've had conversations. Now she's riding with him. Like, I'm just like, to me, I'm just like, I'm scared for Franklin. I'm nervous for Franklin. I want to know what's happening. And from what
Franklin
I've
is
been
down
seeing,
bad.
I know he is. I know he is. My buddy did a calculator where basically I think it said he lost 77 million. I can't remember what the exact amount they said Franklin lost, but he did it to like what was it equivalent to in that time frame.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, yeah, bro, that's like over 200 million that Franklin just got like took from him. Like at
In
that
our
time frame.
table read for that episode, for the finale, the writers made it a point to tell us like that is equivalent to about 200 million in today's time. Everybody was like, whoo.
Yeah, that's and you know what? And I'll tell you right now, I love my family as much as the next, but man, 200 million gone like that, and you're not trying to help me get it back, I might lose my mind. I might go a little crazy like Franklin.
The stakes are high.
Yes, I know. And it makes me so nervous for next season. I'm nervous for Franklin. I'm nervous for Jerome. How do you feel about Jerome being caught in the middle of this battle between his nephew and his woman? Like, how do you think Jerome is feeling right now?
I feel like Jerome is definitely conflicted because Louis was wrong. I think Louis was wrong. She overstepped. She didn't even take Jerome into consideration or like talk with him about it. I feel like she just kind of made these moves.
This is what we're doing.
Because he's her now husband, he has to go with her. But this is also his family. So he's in a really bad position.
Right. And he said it more than once. He doesn't want to go to war with his family.
Yeah. But that is what it is. And I can't remember. Does he know? Does he know that spoiler alert? Yeah. Does he know that Franklin went up to Louis and like pulled a gun on her? I don't think that's been addressed yet.
I don't think it has either. Well, because she also, which threw me for a loop, he pulls the gun on Louis, and then Buckley, this dude Buckley, comes out of nowhere with it. I was like, okay, yeah, battle lines have just been drawn. Like Buckley's got a gun on Franklin. Franklin's got a gun on Louis. Like this is getting messy. This is getting messy. And I think that Jerome would have
Buckley has nothing to lose now.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. He just wants his kids. He's already lost his job, and Louis like, look, I'm going to employ you full time. Like, and I will say this: the way Louis' game is set up, how she understands the potential with having somebody like Buckley on her side. Okay, yeah, former law officer. Well, he's still going to have some connects. He still has a little bit of like say on the street. So I see where she's coming from with that. I was not expecting him to pop up and pull that gun on Franklin. That was one of my like, what the hell's like last season. I was jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I didn't expect that one either. because he could have killed him.
100%.
He could have killed him.
100%. 100%. Now, with that being said, do you have a favorite character on the show? Like, do you have just one character that you like? I like everything about this character on the show.
I will have to say my favorite is good old Wanda.
I knew it. I
I
knew it. I
love
knew it.
Wanda. I am rooting for Wanda. Wanda Bell can do no wrong. Shout
Wanda
out to
Bell can
Gail
do no
Beam. She
wrong.
is absolutely beautiful inside and out, an
Oh
amazing
yes.
person, an amazing artist. But I love Wanda's her character arc, her growth, and I am rooting for Wanda to
I
be
know
okay.
it.
She has to be okay.
I
She
know.
has to be okay next season.
She's and I'm with you on that. Like, do we want to see her and Leon actually ride off into the sunset together? Is that kind of like what we're hoping for? I'm thinking
I
yes.
think we all would love to see that.
Yes.
We would love to see it. But even if her and Leon don't, I need Wanda to ride off.
We need Wanda to be okay. Yeah, we need Wanda to be good. Yeah, I hear you on
Yes.
that. Yeah, Wanda, you talk about a character that's been through it. Oh my God.
Yes.
I think the one scene with Wanda that really got to me was when her tooth fell out.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. And I was
that
like,
episode
oof.
was iconic.
Oh man. Oh man.
Wait,
like,
maybe I'm confusing it with the one where Melody was with
there
her.
was that one. No, that episode was great.
I'm confusing it.
That episode was Melody is that girl's crazy. Like she was wild. She was wild. And I felt
wonder
bad.
if she'll be back next season.
It would be great if what they did is they did kind of like an Avenger style like send off where they brought back like a lot of the people that are still alive, and they bring them back, and then somehow some way like Franklin, because I feel like Franklin, to end the season, he's gonna have to close the door on a lot of his like beefs and a lot of his situations that he hasn't been able to close the door on. So and one thing I will say is I absolutely love the way that Damson played the character this past season. I think that, how he has been brought onto the scene, seeing how, like I said, character development, his Franklin, great development from where he was at the beginning versus now, because he told you what he was going to do from the beginning. He said he was going to run the world. He said he was going to get the money like that. That was what he wanted, and he stuck to it. What's it like for going in there? You're going on Snowfall, and you have this big role. And what's it like working with an actor like Damson when it comes to like being on set with him, watching him work? I mean, we all saw the scene, the bodies. We all seen the scene. We all saw how he snapped off. What's it like being able to see him work and just kind of go into that zone?
Right. So first of all, I'm so salty that Dallas and Black Diamond weren't at the wedding.
At the wedding.
It is what it is. No, working with Damson is absolutely phenomenal. He is a gracious actor, like very giving in the scene, very collaborative, like, oh, let's do this. Like, he's an artist through and through. I really respect how he works because, like, he's from the UK, he's from London, and obviously has a British accent, but right. At work, like from the moment he gets to set to when he leaves, he speaks as Franklin, just to help him stay in character, even That's when he's awesome. Even when we're not rolling, like he's talking like Franklin. So he's just like fully immersed into the character. And I think when you've spent so much time with this character, like I think it's been 5 years, so he's grown with Franklin, and he knows him through and through. And not even just Damson, but Eamon, Angela, Isaiah, like the entire cast, they know these characters so well. It's just like a second skin. And it's such a treat getting to know them personally when we're not rolling and kind of, see how they actually are. And then when it is game time, they're so connected and so into it. And all it does is make me just want to drop into Dallas. Like Taylor's awesome. Over here. It's time to be Dallas.
That's awesome. That is so awesome to hear, because I would imagine for somebody with his talent set and whatnot to have the rest of the crew be able to feed off of your energy and feed off of what you're giving them to. That is awesome. That's something that you want in one of those type of characters, and that's great to hear. That is great to
even like the intricacies of like say we're about to film a scene, and they'll typically set out Franklin's like watch or whatever accessories, they'll
Mm-hmm.
put them like on his chair.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one day, Damson was like, he was like, no, I wouldn't have this watch on today. I'll have this watch on. I'll have the Rolex on. Like he's very specific,
Oh,
like
what?
little things. Yeah.
That's
Like he's like,
awesome.
no, I don't want that one. Or he'll be like, no, this is my gun. This one, like very particular about
Mm-hmm.
every little thing. And it's like, whatever it makes you feel, you are Franklin, like whatever you would
Right.
feel like, no, I wouldn't wear this watch with this outfit. Like,
Oh
I
my
want this one.
God. That is
Yeah,
awesome. That is dope. Like I think that's one of those like traits. It's like, it could be something small, but like to like somebody like me, I'm like, bro, that's live, that he's over here and
it
he's like, no,
is.
that
It's
I'm not wearing
fire.
that today. No, Frank's not wearing that. That is awesome.
It's
Well,
fire, but it gave me the agency to be like,
mhm.
I think Dallas would have like a chain on. Can I get
Yeah.
a chain? Like, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. So it's like, okay, I can kind of ask for certain things. Okay, I got it.
Oh yeah, no, that is amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, I've got so many favorite characters in the show. Like I'm telling you, I'm absolutely like I just love the show. I love every aspect of the show. I think they do great with the show. And like I said, I'm big Black Diamond in Dallas. Like I'm telling you, from
Thank
from the
you.
jump, I was like, oh my God. I was like, these girls are raw. Like, I was like, they are raw. Like they're just pulling up and blasting at the funeral home. Oh my God. A
Crazy.
scene like that, oh man, y'all just pulled up, rolled the windows down, and just aired it out. I was like, yo,
That
they're
scene
real.
was really special. Really, I mean, every being on the show is special, period. But
Mm-hmm.
that scene and when I got on the show in season 4 was really special to me because my best friend was on the show as well.
Oh wow.
So her name is Jeffrey Maya. She played Khadijah. And
Khadijah? Oh
yeah,
wow. That
like
is
that
awesome.
is my sister. We went to college together. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's my sis for real. So that was actually because we were shooting in the pandemic, our shooting schedule was kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I shot my last episode of that season first, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So my first ever time stepping on set, first scene was that funeral gun scene.
Oh
And it
wow.
was so beautiful because I was with Jeffrey,
Mm-hmm.
because they actually started filming season 4 at the top of 2020, but of
Mm-hmm.
course had to stop because of the
Right.
pandemic, and then picked back up. And by the time we got to episode 5 is when I came in, or like 4, I can't remember. But yeah, so it was such a treat because she was on the show, and we got to do it together.
Oh wow. No, that is awesome. I did not know that
Mhm.
about being best friends in college, and now you guys are on the same huge platform, the same huge TV show. So that is great. And like
Yeah,
like I
God
said,
is
that funeral
good.
scene, I'm telling you, that funeral scene, it had me at a loss of words. I thought Louis was gone. I was like, oh no, like this is not gonna be
I
good.
was like, people are about to hate us. We're about to kill Louis. I was like, please let her make it.
Yeah.
Please let her make
And
it.
see, that's all about the character development that I love with you guys, because you guys started off doing stuff like that. And then like now it's just like we have to find out in the next season, are they riding with Franklin, or are they, at the end of the day, are they just some hired guns? Like I got a lot of questions with Black
I can't
Diamond in
wait to
Dallas.
find out either.
I know. And real quick before we go ahead and we send you off, we do want to know. I have two last questions for you. Number one is what are your predictions for next season? How do you see it going?
Ooh, okay. One of my biggest predictions, I think, is that everything's gonna burn to the ground, which is something that Franklin and Sissy alluded to, but
Mhm.
I think that everything is gonna burn to the ground. I think we
Right.
are going to lose some people that have been with us since day one.
Yeah.
I don't know who. And lose could mean they get killed or they go to jail, like,
Mhm.
for like real time. I think so. I think we're going to lose people that we really, really love. I think, I think it's going to be Franklin versus Louis. Like
At the end of the day,
they both can't live. They
mhm,
just can't.
it's not possible. Yeah.
And Teddy,
Teddy, we haven't even
somebody needs
touched
to
on Teddy.
get
We haven't even
somebody needs
touched
to
on
get
Teddy.
Teddy.
Yes.
Somebody, the CIA,
Hmm.
Parisa, like somebody has to get Teddy because he is the instigator in all of
Yes.
this.
Something broke with Teddy, I think, whenever he was gone. Whenever, Franklin's dad leaked all the stuff with that reporter, something broke with Teddy, because since he's come back into the picture,
He's
Teddy is,
been nasty.
yes, and and he used to really look out for Franklin, like, and him and
Hmm.
Franklin at the end of the day, they both know what Teddy did to his pops. And
Right.
it's like, I know what you did, like, and you're still gonna take everything from me. Like, like
Hmm.
I'm just kind of like, I'm hoping that what'll happen is Franklin will be able to get the closure on Louis. But I think one of the things that next season I'm really looking forward to is trying to see what is gonna happen with him and Teddy. How is he gonna
Yes.
close the book on Teddy?
Yes. Absolutely. I can't wait to see that either.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. We, like I said, I will be tuning in, and at the end of the season, we gotta get you back on. We gotta know, like, what's your thought process after
For
everything's happened
sure.
at the end of the season. This was a delight, Miss Taylor. I appreciate you again for sitting down with me and answering a couple of these questions. And again, congratulations on the Supernatural spinoff, Wicked City.
Thank
Congratulations on
you.
that. Like, real quick, if you wanted to touch on that, like, what's it feel like getting one of those big roles with that spinoff? Supernatural is a huge TV show too.
Yeah. Well, okay, so just to clarify, it's not a spinoff of the show Supernatural.
Mhm.
It's just a supernatural show. That's like a fantasy
Supernatural.
show.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
But yeah, Wicked City it's going to be streaming on All Black, which is a streamer of AMC networks.
okay.
But it's about four witches who live in Atlanta. They have different powers, and along comes a new person who actually is a witch, but she doesn't know it. Camille, which is my character. Basically, she's from LA. Her mom um, tells her, I don't want to give too much away. Her
Uh-huh.
mom tells her that she needs to go do something in Atlanta. And here she finds out that she is actually not who she ever thought that she was.
Uh-uh.
She is a very, very powerful witch, and all these different things start happening. And they have to protect themselves from these evil entities. So I am super excited about that. I actually just finished filming it
Oh, you
last
did?
week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just finished filming it. It was such a rewarding process, very hard work, because a lot of what we did was at night. So
Mhm.
just working like outside at night, it was a lot going on, but I'm really proud of the work that we did, and I hope that people like it. I think, for me, I love having the opportunity to play such different characters like Dallas versus Camille. They're
Oh yeah, that's
very
gonna be.
different.
Mhm. That's gonna
Very
be interesting
different.
to watch.
Yeah, and even the aspect of like fantasy stuff and doing spells and doing
Mhm.
different stunts and things like that was really, really cool. And I think it's dope to have young Black women
Of
in
course.
these types of roles, because we don't
Mhm.
we don't see that too much.
Mhm.
So I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Hey, definitely, and we're gonna be tuning in too. When can we expect this show to drop?
At winter of this year.
Winter of
So
this year. Oh, that's gonna be pretty
probably
quick.
somewhere, yeah,
We're
probably
already in
somewhere
June.
between like October to December.
Okay, well, I'll make sure to tune in on that. You heard it here first, Potty Mouse. Y'all make sure to tune in to Wicked City. All right, we got some
Yeah.
witches that are busting onto the scene, so make sure y'all keep up. Make sure y'all tuned in. But other than that, Miss Taylor, thank you again so much. It was
You're
a pleasure
so
speaking
welcome.
with you. This was like I said, I just appreciate the chance to talk with you. And on behalf of me and the Potty Mouse, we thank you. And like I said, we're gonna be hoping and we're gonna be praying for Dallas next season. Okay, we
Me
want
too.
Dallas and Black Diamond. We want you guys to ride with Franklin. At least I think so. I want you to.
Yes, I would love that. I would love that. But those writers are crazy.
Yeah.
They are crazy, wonderful people. So like I genuinely don't know what to expect. People ask me all the time. I'm like, I have no idea. I have no clue.
I know. It's either way. It's gonna be interesting, and we can't wait for it. But other than
Yes.
that, we'll go ahead and we'll let you go, Miss Taylor. Thank you again for the opportunity, and it was a pleasure speaking with you today.
All right. Thanks.
You take care.
Bye.
Bye.